started learning about World Relief thanks to a volunteer coordinator, Sylvia, who we met at Metropolitan Park, and she really enabled us to understand the importance of World Relief and its organization. It's amazing to me that I'm able to have an impact on worldwide crisis here in my backyard. And that's what World Relief allows us to do, is provide shelter and refuge, for those people, fleeing, war and devastation. When we got assigned, met Sylvia, we did the whole training process, and she said, there's four young gentlemen that you're assigned with from Eritrea. And I had to look where that's on the map. And for those of you who don't know, it's in Eastern Africa. And I had no idea what to expect. And we went and picked them up from the airport. And, I was so excited for them, and just thinking back to where my relationship with them was a year ago to where it is now. And just how they're just trying to find a way in this world and survive and still provide for their families simultaneously. And it's so humbling, you think of I'm volunteering, I'm doing this, but these guys, Futsum, Tesfaye, Hoptum, Asmaron, Maritab, they do more for me than I do for them. And I know that sounds, perhaps cliche or, what have you, but they exemplify how love knows no boundaries. And they come over here and see that I'm here to help, and, they just love me and my wife and, my son. They came over and, bring me fruit when my son was born, and one of my guys, Hoptum, he had a baby as well. It's a real beautiful thing, and be able to share those experiences with each other. And it really is a great blessing to be part of that, part of their lives. It's crazy to think that, I met Sylvia, the volunteer coordinator, started this process, and, got my 4 guys, and I was chatting with my friend John Rutherford about it, and he was just excited for me and wanted to be a part of it. And he came over and visited, our 4 guys, and we'd go over to their house, and every time we go over to their house, they just cook for us. And he's like, man, I really want to get more involved. And it's kind of crazy, John and I have been friends since high school, 10, 15 years now, and it's wonderful that we get to experience this together as well.
I'm John Rutherford, and started to get involved with World Relief through a friend of mine. He was going out of town one weekend and asked if I would help take a handful of the refugees that he helps support to church on a Sunday morning. So I said, sure, no problem, and went and picked him up, and beginning of a great relationship there. So from there, I came and met with World Relief and the great group of people they have, and went through the onboarding process, which was really simple, and was assigned a group of young refugee men that I was able to come in and just start not only helping them, but learning from them a lot. And with that, I learned a lot, to say the least. I don't know how else to better describe that. You go into this with the idea of, I'm going to spend a few hours a week, and I'm going to take somebody to the grocery store, or take them to church, or maybe I'll help them with some English. But in the midst of that, you start to learn about their stories. You ask them questions, where they came from. It puts things in perspective. So, it was a great learning experience, because I started to think differently. It wasn't just taking them to the store. It was understanding that these are real people who just need a chance and need an opportunity. And I can help them with that. And man, once they take that, it's mind-blowing what they really do with it. It put a lot in perspective for me. As I said, I started to work with them, understand their stories, and in my own life, I realized that the longer line that I had to wait in didn't matter as much, or the little inconveniences of life just were not that at all. They were truly just actual blessings that I had the opportunity to even deal with this inconvenience that they would never even have the thought of. and it's impacted me in so many ways.
I think for anything, it can be pretty intimidating because, these guys come in from another country and speak little to no English. Even the guys now who I visit with for, potentially hours on the weekends, it's hard for us to talk because, they don't speak English. And I think that's the biggest deterrent, right, is just getting out of your comfort zone. And I think that's normal. I think that's okay to be uncomfortable. Just, opening yourself up, to that regard. But I will tell you that the benefits of doing that and being that peace in someone else really is worth it. There's no other way to really explain it. It's I definitely encourage you to do it and to be part of the program.